You can now access Midjourney through Meta AI, and as of this recording in the second week of November, it is free to use. This is the world's most beautiful image model. I'll show you the basics of what to do, and then I'll teach you some tricks to get the most out of it. My name is Nolan Michaels. I've made well over 100,000 prompts since Midjourney debuted a few years ago, and I want to help you out the best I can. So here's how you can start. Go to meta.ai and sign in. Then you'll be brought to this homepage where you can start a conversation and you can scroll down and see videos made by, I guess, other members of the Meta community. Some of these are pretty unhinged, so just, I don't know, maybe ignore that for now. What you want to do is click over here on the left side at the Create tab. This will be your Midjourney Create page where all of your generations will live. We have our prompt box at the bottom and we can start typing whatever we like. I want to see a superhero dog wearing a diamond encrusted cape. Right now it's in a vertical aspect ratio. We can click on this here and either change it to a square or a landscape frame. There doesn't seem to be any way to create a custom ratio, at least right now. And then we can hit enter or click on this send button right here. Meta will then create 4 pictures based on your prompt. Now, how do we know that this is the Midjourney model? Well, you can sort of tell just by the visuals alone. These certainly look like something that Midjourney would create. And you know what? Let me just show you this prompt on the main Midjourney website. Pretty similar, right? There definitely are some differences between using Midjourney on Meta and the main website, but for the most part, everything works normally. You have some settings down here by the prompt box. You want to click on aesthetics, and that will bring up a few different sliders. At the top is the chaos value, also known as variety. This will create more of a difference between each picture in a grid. Let me just show you. If we were to run this same prompt with a variety value of 30, you're going to notice a pretty big difference between each dog. At least a bigger difference than these 4 here. Right, so this one on the left side kind of looks normal. The one in the middle, again, sort of normal, but now we have this dog with a white background. And then this dog just chilling in the wilderness. A variety value of 30 is honestly a bit too high in my opinion. I think you should stick to a value of around 5 or even 0 the default. But you'll notice in your settings, the value only goes up by a range of 10 at a time. So what do? Well, we can trigger this same parameter by writing a shortcut in our prompt. And check this out. Instead of rewriting the prompt every time, you can simply click on it over here on the right side, and that will load it into the prompt box for you. Same thing here when we click on variety, watch what happens. It's going to add --chaos 30. We can erase the rest of chaos and just leave it with --c, and then for the value, we can erase 30 and just add the number 5. I think that is more than enough for you. This will give us a little bit of variety and help explore a little quicker. And remember, Midjourney AI is a slot machine. Don't expect to win, okay? The odds of success are never really that high, but of course Midjourney is the best model, and therefore you should have a little bit more fun while you're using it. And there you go, maybe this is a little bit of variety like this one right here. I think that's pretty cool. We actually have some options here at the top when you hover over one of your pictures. We can create a link and send it to someone. We can share it through Facebook, Threads, WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram Messenger. We can download the picture and I guess we can copy it to our clipboard. We can also favorite this picture, maybe just to find it later. We can download it directly right here. And we can continue with this picture in a conversation, but we'll get to that in a little bit. The other thing I want you to know is that when you hover over a picture, you can now animate it. That's kind of crazy. Do you know how expensive AI video is? And you can use it here for free. Again, it is slightly different than the main Midjourney website. For example, the batch size on Meta is just 1 video per image, but look how fast it generated. That's kind of amazing, and this video is a little interesting to say the least. From here, we can add music and we can even extend the video. We could restyle it down here. Not really sure what that all does, but feel free to experiment. But do you notice how the dog is kind of boring here? It's not really doing anything interesting. That's because it was animated with our prompt, which was just a superhero dog wearing a cape. If we wanted to customize what happens in the video, this is what we have to do. First, I think you should download the original picture. And then down here at the bottom in the prompt box, we want to click on Add Media. I'll find the picture of the dog and it will be added here. Now we have to click on Image and make sure this is video. From here, we can describe our animation. What do we want to see happen? This is a pretty bad prompt, but let's try the dog's eyes turn red and the dog flies into the air like a superhero. Do we think this is gonna work? I don't know. Only one way to find out, right? And yes, this didn't work, so maybe you're learning what to expect. Manually animating a video isn't as precise as you might hope. We have to be a little more careful with our prompts, and I actually have a few tutorials on how to write better video prompts. Maybe you want to check that out after. But let's move on to some of the other features here. Let's change the type of prompt back to image. Let's change the aspect ratio to a wide frame. Vintage Polaroid of a man in a cyan colored suit. And then check this out. We can add a special parameter that does not appear here in your settings. We can type --RAW to trigger it. --RAW. The 2 hyphens is how you trigger every Midjourney parameter, and RAW is a special version of Midjourney. It'll be very, very similar, but better at creating realistic looking pictures. And we see here next to the prompt, we have raw set as a parameter. If we were to click on this, it would add --raw to our prompt. We might see this eventually in our settings, but until it is there, don't forget that you can trigger it manually. You might like the results a lot more. So your generations will fill this create page here, but your prompts also sort of live here on the side as separate chats. And then now we can talk to a language model about those pictures, I guess. To get back to your create page, simply click on the create tab over here, and then all of your generations will be here again. I do want to show you one specific thing though. When you're talking in the conversation mode about a picture, I don't think it's the Midjourney model being used. So I took this picture here, which was help created by Andreas in my community. In this conversation, I used natural language. I said, make it monochrome. I wasn't really sure if that was going to work. And it sort of did, I'll be honest. Like, these are pretty cool. But the reason I don't think this is Midjourney doing that adjustment is because I know that Midjourney can't really do this. When I tried that exact prompt on the main Midjourney website, I got results like these, which again are pretty different. So yes, you have access to the main Midjourney model when you're generating your first draft of pictures, your first grid. But if you were to go into the conversation mode on the left side and actually talk to the bot about these pictures and maybe make adjustments from there, you will not be tapping into Midjourney, at least for now. And then I have another really fun feature that you're going to want to play around with. Let's type a really simple prompt, okay? Let's ask for a phone booth. We'll go with a vertical ratio, 9:16. And then here under aesthetics, which is your settings, I want you to pay attention to this style reference seed section right here. Click on this and then you can type any number you can think of between 1 and 4 billion. Billion with a B. Like, I'll randomly mash the keyboard, and that number is attached to a random art style on the Midjourney side of things. So when we hit enter on this prompt, Midjourney is going to create a phone booth in a random art style for us. --SREF 723753208. If you took that number and put it in this style reference section right here, any prompt you write will look like this. You could input your favorite number, you can type random numbers like I did. Either way, this can be a lot of fun to use. I tried it the other day with this random example. The prompt was super simple, a woman, and it was on this sref code. And then I was able to get results like these. Look how beautiful this one in particular is. When I animated that picture, it was kind of boring. I mean, yeah, that looks fine. But then check this out. I asked for the woman to look down and see a bunch of alligators. And like, that's kind of cool. I do wonder why the manual video prompt doesn't appear here. And even if we click on this, I also don't see it here anywhere. So you might want to write down your prompts ahead of time, or you could forget how these videos are created. Unfortunately, there are some pretty cool features that don't work yet on Meta AI. And one of those being the mood board feature. Sort of similar to style reference codes, we can assemble a bunch of pictures and have Midjourney create new images based on this look. Pretty powerful stuff. I actually gave this code away to my group the other day. So if I ran that prompt in Midjourney, I would get these results, and those are gorgeous. But if we copy and paste this into Meta, I don't believe the results are going to work. There you go, it didn't work at all. It didn't bring that mood board style with it. And obviously this could change in the future, but for now, style reference codes work. You can find that here in your settings. And then again, hopefully maybe mood board codes will work as well in the future. Now let's talk about moderation for a second. Is there a difference between the moderation on Meta versus the moderation on Midjourney, where Midjourney is historically quite PG-13? Like, short answer, maybe. Longer answer is, like, I don't really know. Because the only way to test this is to ask for something risky and then see if the bot goes ahead and makes it. Now, I don't really want to push the limits and get my account banned or anything, but there is one thing I can show you. So, historically, if you were to ask for a pin-up style picture, you're going to get a little bit more risque images. Midjourney typically has no problem generating these, so maybe I'm not pushing the envelope too far, but I think this is a good balance. And I wanted to keep it a little out of the realism side of things, so here we have a Shrek in pin-up style. And these are decent, of course. But I guess the cool thing is that you can actually animate these with no problem. Here's my animated Shrek pin-up. Classy, of course. And then this is also a good example of what the raw feature can do. -- raw. Trust me, remember that. Because look at these. It is a much different result. Raw not only creates more realistic pictures when you're looking for something realistic, it also listens to your prompt more. So if you ask for something like Shrek in pinup style and it creates whatever this is here, like, okay, that didn't really work. It didn't listen to what you want. That exact same prompt with style raw creates these instead. Much more of what we were looking for. Remember, raw. And again, animating didn't seem to cause any problems. But I did find this on the Meta help page. It says, depending on your prompt, the content generated may go against our community standards or terms of service. That makes sense, right? But then it says this: sharing AI-generated content on our platforms that go against these standards will be treated the same as sharing other content that goes against our standards. If you do this, your content may be removed and your account may be restricted or disabled. So, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not telling you what you can and cannot do, but it seems like it's saying you can generate pictures, sort of whatever you want. Like maybe you'll hit a limit and maybe Midjourney will kind of go over the edge without you expecting it. And that would be fine. But if you go ahead and share those pictures, then that's when you'll run into a problem. Again, don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I kind of read here. It also says that you can generate images of certain public figures and that they will continue to label AI generated images made with their product. And like, that's kind of interesting, but have some common sense when you're doing these kind of things, okay? All in all, that's how you can use Midjourney for free right now. Meta doesn't have every feature available, so if you're interested in learning more and taking the 12 steps to becoming a Midjourney master, make sure you check out my new course available in my community on the school platform. The link will be in the description below, and if you want to learn some prompting tips for video generations, you can check out this playlist here. I hope you're doing well, take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.